United States. This was not a line from a Hollywood movie, but rather from the real-life head of the U.S. Pacific Fleet, Sam Paparo. The admiral literally said that to military reporters and the whole world at a conference in Washington in late November of 2022. And you can't blame the guy. The tension is even higher than that. Because while Uncle Sam is spending top dollar in military aid to Ukraine, $18 billion so far to be precise, China is not wasting any second. The Chinese Dragon has just built a submarine, 6 of them, that can wipe out America in 30 seconds. But what's stopping them from pressing the red button? That's what we're gonna find out today. Spoiler alert. Whoever thinks that a war with China should be easy on the U.S. hasn't looked at the stats for a while. By the end of the decade, China could have 5 aircraft carriers and 60 cruisers and destroyers. That's double the current tonnage. Its navy may surpass America's by 2030. The ships and ground-based missile systems. However, a lot of room is given to the nuclear weapons project, which might result in 700 warheads by 2027 and another 300 by 2030. It is. And that's the discussion of the hour in geopolitical space. But what exactly is so scary about these submarines? Let's break it down. 4 submarines in the Chinese growing fleet, each with 12 missile launchers and a total of 72 missiles. As part of China's nuclear deterrent force, at least 4, if not all, of the submarines are said to be headquartered in Hainan Island. China intends to utilize the South China Sea as a bastion. The Zhulang-2, or JL-2 submarine-launched ballistic missile, which had a range of about 4,464 miles, according to the Congressional Research Service, allowed Chinese submarines to target portions of Alaska from regions near China. To reach the east coast of the United States, the submarines would have had to enter waters east of Hawaii. JL-3. It would provide China the opportunity to attack the United States from a safe haven in the South China Sea. According to some American press sources, the JL-3 may have a range of more than 6,200 miles. Washington, Nevada, Utah, and California would be under threat if China's missile submarines change their patrol zones to cover the Bay of Bohai. It is doable for China to target the remainder of the United States. Forces are unable to defend them from opponent anti-submarine warfare forces. Chinese missile submarines are not yet silent enough to survive alone, in contrast to American missile submarines. But here's the plot twist. China has not announced the commissioning of the JL-3. And that the U.S. military speculation is based on false information in order to increase funding for the development of its capabilities. According to them, the U.S. military is trying to increase its presence in the Asia-Pacific area during the Russia-Ukraine war, which is scheduled to take the place of the Ohio class. Hyping the China threat theory will get the U.S. military more funds and regional support to do so. In addition to the fact that its nuclear forces based on submarines are primarily designed for counterattacks, China retains its nuclear capabilities at the exact minimum level necessary for national security. So, to put things into realistic perspective, by 2030, China could afford to raise the number of cruisers and destroyers from 36 to 60. The Chinese Navy's overall tonnage, or total weight of its ships, would rise from its current level of 1.3 million tons to almost 2 million tons. In comparison, the Pacific Fleet of the United States Navy is home to 6 aircraft carriers as well as 50 cruisers and destroyers. It also possesses 8 ballistic missile submarines with nuclear propulsion. The ships that are part of the Atlantic Fleet are not included in this total. Globally, the U.S. Navy has a tonnage of around 4.5 million tons. This gives us the assumption that maybe the U.S. owns the real beast.